Hey guys, what's up? Eli here. Welcome back to another video. And in this video, I've got another exciting resource for you that's basically going to make sure that you're crossing all your T's and you're dotting your I's and making sure that everything is as it should be prior to launching your store out there to the market. Okay, so what you're being provided here is an essential store pre-launch checklist. So I do not want you launching your store. I do not want you testing products if you haven't completed and ensured that at least you're covering off on this entire checklist here that I'm going to give you. So you're going to be able to have an access download link as well. So make sure you print it out. You can cross things off as you make sure you tick them off of the sheet, just to make sure that your website is up to scratch and not looking bad. And customers aren't, they're not going to trust a website if you aren't at least adhering to the majority of the stuff that I've put in this checklist, because I've seen it time and time again where people miss the basics, like what I've got for you here. And now this isn't just basics. This is a lot of high level stuff as well that I've learned after doing e-commerce full time for years now. Okay, so please take this stuff seriously and ensure that you're ticking the stuff off. So I'm going to jump in and just read through basically what's on the checklist. Again, you're going to have access to this, so download a copy, go through it, and please don't even bother launching your store until you've addressed this stuff and made sure that you're presenting a really beautiful storefront out there that's user friendly, customer friendly, and makes the sales process very, very easy for a customer to go from cold traffic into buyer. Okay, so make sure, okay, because otherwise you're wasting your time, you're wasting my time. There's resources here for a reason. Okay, so please, I'm going to lead you to water here. You got to drink it. All right, so first item on our list is remove powered by Shopify from the website footer. So at the bottom of your website how in the corner it says powered by Shopify. Delete that. If you're wondering how to delete that, Google it. Remove powered by Shopify from Shopify store. Easy. Or you can just go into Shopify languages in the theme settings, search for that, and then delete that. Okay. Next is ensure you have automatically changing currency converter installed if you're selling across different countries and different currencies. So at the end of the day, if you're selling your product on your website to the world, and everyone in the world, guess what? They're going to buy things and they're used to using different currencies. So if you've got a store set up in Australian dollars or New Zealand dollars and you're running that across the world, and people in Canada are seeing Australian dollars or AUD, they're not going to know what that is. And then it's going to get to checkout and the price is going to be different than what they're used to. So make sure you've got a currency conversion app where it automatically changes to the person who's on your website's local currency. So if you're in the US and I'm selling in Australian dollars, guess what? I need to sell in the US if I want to sell to the US or worldwide. Most people understand that USD is the global currency and everyone knows what USD is, okay? Not everyone knows what New Zealand or Australian or euros or whatever it converts to. US dollars is the global currency for a reason. So if you're selling worldwide, make sure your store is selling in USD and then have a currency converter that translates it when visitors come on from different countries to their local currency, okay? Next, have your privacy policy, terms and conditions, returns, and shipping pages done and accessible in the footer of your website, because people are going to have questions about this stuff. And if you don't have this information readily available, people are going to maybe be a bit scared or skeptical, or perhaps think that the website's not legit and they're going to leave and therefore you've lost another sale. Okay, so make sure you've got all your policies written up and there's no spelling errors. Shopify gives you templates as well you can work off to edit and make sure that they adhere with what you're doing. The next thing is ensure you have primary and footer menus set and visible. So when I say menus, I mean the navigation menus at the top of a website, like home, shop now, things like that, okay? And the bottom footer menus are things like customer support and all of those items, okay? So look at what the top stores are doing in regards to those. Make sure you're not launching a store that's something.myshopify.com, okay? You need to have a custom branded domain name, like mystore.com, not mystore.myshopify.com. It looks unprofessional, looks tacky. Make sure you have a professional domain name. .com is my preferred one, and the shorter, the sharper, the shinier the domain name, the better and the more trustworthy it looks and the more branded, okay? Your add to cart button that's on your product page must stand out, okay? Because ultimately your goal is to get people from your traffic sources to your website to your product page, and then they need to click add to cart. It's going to take them to cart or to the checkout. And then from there, they need to purchase. So your goal needs to be getting that add to cart button to stand out, because that shows purchase intent and then it's going to guide them through the rest of the purchasing process, right? Next, your product description must include benefits, features, social proof, and clearly demonstrates how your product is going to solve the customer's pain points in a straightforward manner. So we talk about this in other videos, okay? So you want to make sure your product description isn't just some tacky list of features straight off of Oberlo or whatever supplier you're using. You want to make sure that that is selling your product in the best possible light. So again, study what's working out there and create your own formula. I even give you templates, okay? So don't be slacking on product descriptions, because product descriptions is what's ultimately going to help sell your product, okay? Now, and another thing that a lot of people, especially newbies, they miss out on is customer reviews. You need product reviews on your website. Now more than ever, customers are relying on reviews to make educated purchasing decisions, right? So you want to have user-generated content style images in the description. You can use a review app like LOOX, Luke's, or Ali Reviews, or Judge Me Reviews. And my team and I are working on developing one as well at the moment, so that might come down the track. But you want to make sure that people can see how customers' experience is with the product. And if you're doing a private label brand and you don't yet have reviews, send it to friends and be like, hey, if you like the product, as a customer, would you like to put up a review up there? And then just be like, take a photo of it. It's pretty sick. Or if you send it to influencers, be like, do you like it? If so, please leave a review of how much you like our product and take some photos of it. You could do little things like that to get reviews, but I recommend having at least 15 per product so that people can say, all right, well, I'm not the first one to buy this and everyone who's bought this has had a good experience. So therefore I feel okay about buying it. Okay. If you miss this, may as well be throwing money in the trash. Next is clean and professional logo with a matching color scheme to your website. So don't have some weird, tacky, bad looking logo. It needs to look very professional. It needs to look clean, and it needs to not be overwhelming with heaps of details. Okay. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Okay. So study what other people in the game are doing with their logos as well. Okay. Email pop-up widget added to collect emails in exchange for a discount code. So the little annoying pop-up windows that come up on your website when you're on the website or on other people's websites saying, put in your email for this. You need to have that. And what I would do is I'd be setting it for a 15-second timer. So pretty much what happens is after 15 seconds of being on your website, the window pops up and says, hey, we're doing some kind of discount or offer. Please put in your email to get the access code or get the discount or save you money or whatever it is, whatever your offer ends up being. And then from there, they need to be given a coupon code and told to go to checkout to use it, okay? So that way you're collecting emails, which is critical in terms of building your business. And also on top of collecting emails, you're giving the people that are on the site right now contemplating whether to buy or not another reason to buy, which is a discount or offer or some kind of free shipping promo or something, okay? Ensure you place a test order before you go live using dummy addresses from random countries that you intend on selling in. Make sure that the shipping settings are correct so that customers don't have issues at checkout, okay? So if you're going to sell in the US and you live in Australia, use a California or use another address. Just type in California address and find an address, put it in there, see if it takes you to shipping page, and make sure that the correct details are there, just so that you aren't running ads or spending money to get people to your website and no one's buying because the shippings are broken or the payment details are broken or something's broken, okay? So use some dummy addresses before you go live just to make sure that everything's working smooth. Even do one with your own address if you're in New Zealand and you're selling to New Zealand. Try put your address in and see what happens. Make sure the purchase goes through smoothly, okay? Another little conversion tactic that one of my mentors as well that I've paid for consulting, he told me, and this actually helped my conversions on all my stores as well and all my brands and businesses, is in the Shopify language settings, change the word subtotal. At your cart when it says subtotal, add that and make it say your total, meaning like when someone sees your total, they feel like, okay, I'm getting like a special deal, or it's my total, or like that's the total, not, oh, there's going to be more things added after when I go to checkout, because subtotal means that there's going to be more fees added on. So people subconsciously, no pun intended for subtotal, but they are going to be like, all right, well, what's the taxes? What's the shipping? So if you've included all that in your product pricing, which I recommend doing to make things, again, straightforward and simple, you're going to have the word say your total. So people are like, okay, cool. That's my total. That's what I pay, or I want to click checkout. That's why I expect to see that number there again. Okay. In the Shopify language settings, again, change, how it says sometimes in your cart pages, taxes and shipping calculated at checkout at the cart, change that to you're eligible for free shipping, checkout now, if that's something that you're doing, or checkout now to claim 15% off, or whatever offer that you're doing. Just give them another nudge to go ahead and complete that purchase, because this isn't enticing. Saying that taxes and shipping calculated at checkout, that's not enticing, knowing that you're literally going to click that button and then more money's going to get chucked on and you don't know what that is. Like, it's just, you want to keep things simple and cohesive, okay? So, and you want to keep people enticed to click the next button until they're purchased, okay? Next, your images and visuals on your website must be high resolution and clean, okay? I don't want to see you guys using the real basic low resolution images that some suppliers are giving you. If you're selling one of their products, you need to message them and ask for high resolution photos so that you can sell it better. If they're not willing to do that for you, I know this might be annoying and take some time. You can either send the images to a guy on Fiverr and be like, can you get me some better images? Or you order the product yourself, you get it here and you take photos of it, or you hire a local photographer to set up a little white background station or something equivalent and take some clean photos. Again, that's going to separate you from your competitors, okay? So make sure that your images, your visuals, your videos, your graphics, make sure everything's high resolution, clean, and looks the part of a big brand, okay? And nothing else is going to cut it in 2021 and moving forward, okay? You must have some respect for the content, because content, it's a low barrier to entry. So if you've got subpar content on your website, it's going to really put you down a rank, whereas just having good content is going to put you in amongst all of the top brands, okay? So don't be cheap on that. Next, on your product pages and your website in general, ideally you want to have a video demonstrating your product, or you want to have like GIF images, the animated images on the landing page or product page, so that customers can see how the product looks from all angles, see how it's used, and understand what you're selling and how it's going to benefit them in a more visual way for the visual learners, okay? Ensure that you've got automated abandoned cart email flows set up. You can do that through Shopify themselves. They allow you to send automated abandoned cart emails, and you can customize those as well. Or you can set up email marketing software like Klaviyo, Klaviyo, Klaviyo. And you can integrate that straight with Privy as well, which is like a pop-up widget app, just to make sure that the emails are going through to your backend, and then you're automating the marketing on the backend so that you can capitalize on those. So make sure you've got abandoned cart email flows, because if people are adding to cart and they're not buying, this is the fastest and easiest and most cost-effective way to get them back to complete their purchase. Because a lot of the time when people are online shopping, they just forget to complete their order, or there's a distraction or something comes along and it causes them to jump away, okay? Next, in terms of your store design, when you compare your store against the top competitors in your niche or selling your products, yours should not stand out as a new store or a guy trying to do a dropshipping store. Yours should fit in amongst the top ranks and look the part. Okay, if your store looks the part and it looks trustworthy, it looks like presentable, and it looks up to the quality that a lot of the other top stores are, guess what? It's going to build customer trust significantly, and that's going to increase your conversion rate. And guess what? It's more money in your pocket, right? Now, if you're dropshipping using an app like Obolo or DS's or something like that, where it's going to help automate your product fulfillment, make sure you aren't showing variants on your product page like ships from China, ships from Russia, ships from the US. Make sure those variants, the little drop downs, aren't visible, okay? And make sure your product variants are bare minimum and kept tidy. I talk about this in the Facebook group as well. If you type in variant, I've done a post and a video in there as well, so you can see how to remove that. Very simple though. Just even Google how to remove product variant. It's straightforward. That's just tech. You'll figure it out. Next, ensure you have an About Us page created and make it professional. And if you're struggling for information on what to put on the About Us page and make something that's, sexy, sharp, clean, to the point, and entices people to buy and actually get behind your mission, go to a bunch of the top online stores and just see how they've done it. Don't plagiarize, don't copy, just go and see what they've done and work off of that, and use that as, even if you copy it into a Word doc and then change things up and rephrase the whole thing completely, so it's, if you put them side by side, they're not similar, but it gives you that really good foundation to work from, okay? I've done that before and it just helps a lot if you're having writer's block as to something where you're really unfamiliar with it, okay? Next, customers want to know that if they're having issues with their orders, they can contact you and ask questions, okay? So people are going to want to potentially contact you prior to buying, okay? If they've got questions. So you can set up a straightforward contact us page, make sure it's available in the header and the footer as well. Next is have a branded Facebook and Instagram page set up for your store and make sure it's optimized to fit your branding. So professional efforts pay off here. If you make a nice, clean looking Instagram feed, clean bio, have story highlights up, have like a story up all the time or something like that. And on your Facebook page, make sure you got content, make sure you got a beautiful cover art image, make sure you got a nice avatar like logo image, make sure you've got a shop now button that goes to your website. All the absolute basics of setting up your Facebook and Instagram so that if people are going and searching for it, they see it, looks the part, looks professional, and then they're going to buy, okay? Next, you want to optimize your product title so that it's not basic. It's not the basic default one from Obolo or AliExpress. So make your product title sexy if possible. I don't know if you can with certain things, but make it cool, make it appealing, make it unique, make it stand out, and also make the product name itself give an exact representation to your customer's brain as to what you're doing and the problem that you're solving, okay? So look, you don't want to have people thinking that they can just go and Google that product title and then find cheaper alternatives elsewhere. You want to position your product as though that people can only go to your store to get it, okay? Otherwise, you're shooting yourself in the foot. If you got a generic title, people might just go on Amazon and search for the same generic title. But if you make like a little name, have like a registered logo or a little TM symbol or something that's applicable to you, and then put in like, dog, paw, pro, TM, nail clipper, V2, like safe and comfortable. Like there you go. That's a title that people aren't easily being like, okay, I know where to get those. It's like, oh, you can only get them from your store. So that's the impression that you want to give, okay? Next, you want to set up your store's SEO settings so that people can find your store when they're Googling it. So if someone's Googling, say, your watch brand and call it Susan O'Neill watches, you want to optimize all of your pages in the SEO settings in Shopify to make sure that that keyword pops up multiple times and that it's rich throughout your website so that when people are Googling it, they're going to go ahead and find the website straight away. Make sure you can complete a test purchase and it's successful from end to end. I actually recommend putting a test purchase through your store that's with real money. Obviously, you end up getting the money anyway, so I'd put a test purchase through to yourself with real money. Make sure that you get the money, make sure that your payment setups are all good. And then once you've got the payment and you can successfully process orders and fulfill orders and receive payments and manage that, then you're off to the races. Then you can start getting more orders and scaling, okay? Next is run your website through a few friends or family members and ask for genuine feedback as to what they like, what they don't like, and what would turn them off buying if they were customers or visiting your website. So real feedback from others is critical to improve. So when you're asking for feedback, don't be like, what do you think of my website? Because people oftentimes, they don't want to hurt your feelings, okay? But you want real feedback. That's why you can use me. That's why you can use the group members. That's why you can use other people in the e-commerce space. But ultimately, yeah, if you've just got a few friends and family around, just be like, hey, I've got this website here. I'm selling this. This is the idea. Do you honestly think the store looks not as good as some other stores? Or what would you change? What would turn you off? Just be straight up, open and honest with me. I won't take it bad. I'm looking for constructive criticism. Please help me gauge where I'm falling short on this website. If you phrase it like that, people are often going to be like, all right, cool. Well, if I say something, I'm not going to hurt their feelings, but I'm going to offer constructive criticism and feedback so that they can improve, okay? Next, if your store looks bad and you know that it looks a bit rough or you know that it's not the best thing out there, don't even bother launching, and especially don't put money behind it if it doesn't look good, okay? Fix it first. It'll save you lots of time, energy, money, and disappointment if you launch something bad and then get stressed when people aren't buying, okay? You get out what you put in. If you half-ass your store, you're going to get half-ass sales. Barely any work in the store, barely any sales. Lots of hard work on the store, optimizing it, making sure it's the best thing that it could literally be. You will get rewarded for that. Whether it's now, whether it's in a few months, whether it's when you crack your advertising or your email marketing or whatever, you will get rewarded, okay? You get out what you put in. So make sure you don't half-ass in your store before you launch it, okay? Because otherwise the half-ass results are going to reflect poorly on you, okay? Now, another little idea is have a risk reversal policy in place. For example, a lot of consumable companies, things like teeth whitening and other things of that nature, they have a risk reversal, meaning that when someone's a bit on the fence about buying it, perhaps if they're a bit on the fence about the results that they could get from it, or something to that nature, or like, will I get whiter teeth from this product, whatever, you can say love it or your money back, or up to, I know some teeth whitening companies say love it and get your teeth up to 2 shades whiter or get a full refund. Some companies even say get XYZ result or we'll double your money. Like, that's a very bold opportunity to give to people, but because again, people try and exploit this stuff, but make it something that's fair on you and the customer and shows that you walk the talk with your product, okay? Next, less is more sometimes. So keep your Shopify apps that you've installed on your website to the essentials only, as customers really do have shorter attention spans now than ever. So keep the distractions to a minimum if you're looking to increase conversions. Again, your goal is to take cold traffic into buying customers in the shortest time frame, easiest as possible, okay? Next is ensure free worldwide shipping is configured correctly in your website settings. A lot of people often don't set this up and then they launch a broken website. And again, that comes into doing dummy test orders before. Make sure all your settings are correct and play around with them until it works perfectly from end to end. So if you're using Oberlo rather than Shopify as well, and Shopify instead of just private label shipping, if you're using Oberlo or something equivalent, confirm that the ships from address is set to Oberlo rather than your personal address as well. That's another little tip. Add your logo to the checkout as well. So go to the checkout process, add your logo to that, add some relevant trust badges or payment icons, something that makes the customers know that their purchase is secure and that it's still on your website. Because some people just leave the checkout as is with text. as their brand name, and it just doesn't convert because people are like, hang on, what's this weird website? If you've got the same colors and logos and color scheme as the ads in the website, people are going to be more friendly towards your checkout and ultimately purchase, okay? Also, within the notification settings, you can add your logo to your automated Shopify emails within Shopify, and you can also change the color of the email button. So when you're emailing people via Shopify, you can change the colors of that to match your brand as well, just to make sure that it's all cohesive. So that's a little bit more of a glamorous tip, but it helps nonetheless, right? Next is ensure to disable your store password before launching your store so that you aren't driving traffic to a protected website where no one can buy. The last thing you want to do is launch a website, start driving traffic, and then the whole time it's saying password protected website. I've seen people do it. You know, you might think that you're a bit smarter than that, but some people, they just forget about that part as well, okay? So make sure you remove your store password. Make sure you go on a different random device that you're not logged into Shopify. Try get on the website and make sure every page loads up okay. Another little final tip for now on the sheet is consider adding a shoppable Instagram feed so that if customers like a specific Instagram photo, they can go directly to the corresponding product page. So for example, let's say you've got a nice photo of like a pen on a product page, on an Instagram, like on your Instagram feed, you've got that on your website, so you can say shop Instagram, and then they go, oh, that's a sick image, I wonder what this pen is. They click on that, and then it shows the photo, and then it shows the product where they can click straight into this product that they've just seen in the photo that they've liked and purchased. Now I've made a bunch of sales using one called 460, which is one for, it basically, again, puts your shoppable Instagram feed on your Shopify store. They can see your Instagram feed. You can tag in products manually, and then they can go straight to the product page and buy it. So it all helps have upsells and cross sells as well. But yeah, that's just an essential store pre-launch checklist. Helps a massive amount getting all of these things ticked off before you launch, and it's going to save you a lot of headaches if you launch without doing this stuff. Okay, so this is the bare minimums of what I expect. It's not a lot of hard work. You can add all of this stuff within a day. Just make sure that everything's working good. Make sure your website's clean. So yeah, it's not a lot of work. It's just a lot of dot points. You just got to tick off and make sure that you're adhering to them. You probably already are adhering to most of these right now. But yeah, just a refresher. So 100% go through, tick everything off. Okay, so I want to see you going out there and ticking this stuff off. I will not accept average from you. If you're willing to make your store, you're willing to make it good, you're willing to get the results. Okay, so keep me posted on how your store's going. Smash it, legends, and yeah, download this, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.